Hello people who cannot sit at home, thank you so much for joining me. Right now it's the middle of summer, as you can see. I'm on my balcony and it's currently starting to rain. Because it's the middle of the summer, there are going to be still 2 long weekends coming up. There's going to be a long weekend in August and a long weekend in September. And I wanted to do a video about all of the amazing weekend getaways, long weekend getaways you can do before the summer ends. But I think all of these actually can apply to any weekend. Pretty much almost any weekend, including winter weekends. It's just you have to modify certain things. And before we get right into it, let me talk about my books. This just recently came out on Amazon. It's one of my books. It's all about weekend getaways, and I'm gonna link all of the information down below. And I also have, of course, my regular Ontario Road Trip Journal, which is the spring and summer for daytime tripping, and my fall winter if you would like to go on a day trip in fall or winter. So please check out those books, and without further ado, let's go. We are gonna start off strong with Tobermory and Bruce Peninsula. So this area, there's so much to do there. Right now we're at the Big Tub Lighthouse. It's basically like an area where you can walk around. You park, I think it's like $3 per hour. And it's beautiful turquoise water. You have to go here. I don't understand why not too many people know about this place, because instead of, for example, going to the Lion's Head Lookout, which is gorgeous in itself, but it takes a half of your day, you can do this. And then we also did Tobermory Wave Adventure Tour. It was excellent. This is one of those tours that's outdoors. It doesn't have a roof. It also doesn't have a glass floor like some of the other tours have, but you still go over here and you look at the shipwrecks. It's a bit harder to see, but later on, because the tour was outdoors, outside, I really enjoyed that. You really have that feeling of the fresh air and just, it's just amazing. And they take you to the Flower Pot Island. You don't get off. This tour doesn't at least include that. I think they have other tours that do let you get off, which was totally fine with us. We didn't want to get off. It was just a really great, excellent tour. So the thing about Tobermory and Bruce Peninsula area is that there's so much to do. Actually, at the bottom, I'm going to link down a whole video that I did. There's so many other places. But another place I want to talk to you about is the Cobble Beach Golf Link. So this resort has the coolest restaurant, and over here we are at that restaurant. This is not at the Tobermory, this is a bit further away, but you have to check it out. It's also not really well known. Best to pre-book in advance. They had the most amazing burgers, really good salad, Caesar salad, and the most yummiest dessert. Beautiful area. We kind of walked around in there too. It's gorgeous with the most beautiful view onto the Georgian Bay. But again, I'm gonna link down the video below, because if you're going to Tobermory, there's like, I don't know, over 10 things that I go over in the other video that you have to check out. The next place I want to talk to you about, and I think it's an amazing weekend getaway and long weekend getaway, is the area of Oxford County. So they have a cheese trail, and over here we're at the Elmhurst Inn and Spa. It's a beautiful, beautiful inn. It's very European looking. You have to book in there. It's for the romantics. Though I was there with my mom, so it doesn't need to be a couple. Of course, they do have a cheese plate package where you just get a bunch of cheeses. I recommend you get that. It's like cheeses and chocolates and things like that. And over here we are actually doing the cheese trail. This is Red Dragon Dairy. So the cheese trail has so many cheese places, and they're all kind of like in that area. The town is called Ingersoll, and you can spend, oh my gosh, you can spend 3 days in there. Make sure to get a cooler so that your cheese doesn't go bad. And yeah, lots of different cheeses to sample. Over here we're at Gun Hills Artisan Cheese, another amazing place. They have like cute little things for the kids, just very colorful. Same idea. When you walk inside, you can ask them what are your kind of cheeses of the month, of the day. They give you a bunch of samples. We had this Five Brothers cheese, was so good. I think it's their like signature cheese. And they have Moose Brew, and which is like a coffee cheese. And outside they have a cow, and they have a stack of cheeses, like just perfect for photography. Just excellent, excellent trail. Another place is actually Mountain Oak Cheese. These guys also have tons of cheese. Same idea. You can ask for samplers, and these guys actually, they open the door for us to see what's inside all of those cheese rolls. They actually have tours. You do need to pre-book them, and they're I think only like once a month. But oh my gosh, such an amazing cheese trail, definitely worth a whole weekend. Another place you need to check out is the Essex County. This amazes me that not a lot of people from Toronto know about this area. This is essentially like kind of Niagara region. It's wine region, lots of wineries. but it is on Lake Erie. Over here we're at the first place. This is Viewpoint Estates. Absolutely gorgeous with the like full-on view of the lake, and there are a number of wineries in the area. Another place you need to check out while you're in that Essex County is the Point Pelee National Park. There is a fee to enter, but once you enter, it's, oh my gosh, it's such an amazing park. Highly recommended. There are like these boardwalks that you can explore beforehand. You can rent a kayak if you want to, but the main point, I think, for a lot of people is the point, the very, very southern point of the kind of like continental Canada. There's Pelee Island, of course, which is going to be actually the next my suggestion to go for a long weekend. But this is the continental point of Ontario. That's the southernmost. It's yeah, it's really cool. So the other place I want to talk to you about, and this is, you can either do it together with the Essex County or you can do it separately, is the Pelee Island. You will for sure need for this 2 full days if you're staying over at the island. You also need to make sure to pre-book the ferry far in advance. I actually couldn't book the ferry with the car so that it would work out well, so we had to rent a golf cart, which by the way is pretty expensive, so just heads up. Best if you rent bikes. Those are more you know, not as expensive, but my mom doesn't really ride a bike and she was on the trip with me. So here's the other point. This is the island point, most southern point of Ontario, which I guess is not entirely true because there's another island that belongs to Canada that's even more south, but it's not a public island, so you cannot get to it. So this makes it the most southern point that's on an island in Canada that's accessible. And by the way, for the Pelee Island, there's a whole video about it. I'm going to also link it down below. There's just so much to fit in, so definitely watch that video because it has so many tips and tricks. And the next weekend getaway suggestion is Sarnia. Highly, highly recommended. I was surprised how much fun we had in Sarnia. First up, we have the Blue Water Bridge. These huge ships pass you by. Once they hit the bridge, they actually honk, so it's really cool to watch out. And just the color of the water, amazing. Kanatara Beach is very close to the Blue Water Bridge. You will need half a day for that. It's the most beautiful park. It was also free entry, free parking, beautiful. Victory Buffet over here, highly recommended. It's just a really great buffet, well priced, good food. Purdy's Fish Market, it's a fish market of the fresh fish that they bring on the ships in the afternoon, I guess. But there's also a fish stand very close by if you kind of go behind it, and you can buy some fresh fish, fresh fried fish, and enjoy it right looking at the water. Very cool experience. In terms of staying, we stayed at the Airbnb that was actually an old marina turned into an Airbnb. Very cool. I'm gonna try to find it and I'm gonna put the link down below if I can't still find this Airbnb. I do recommend, really well. Very simple, beautiful, with this view onto the marina. It was actually very quiet, gorgeous, gorgeous place. And here it is in the morning, just absolutely beautiful. And another place in near Sarnia I need to tell you about is Green Hill Wilkesport Line, which is a free to enter garden. It's a gorgeous garden, but the unique thing about that garden is that it has a lotus field. So we were there, by the way, at the end of July, so I don't know how long or for how long the lotus bloom. I have no idea, to be honest, but when we were there, they were in full bloom. It was the most beautiful sight. I was in shock that this is in Ontario. This felt like much warmer climate, because it is actually much warmer climate versus Toronto area. So highly recommend you check that park out. So the sixth really cool long weekend idea is Niagara Falls. Specifically, I want to recommend you Redwood Bed and Breakfast. So over here we're at the balcony, we're in the Paris room, which you will see in a second, but across from it over there is America and we are on the Canadian side. So here is the Paris room. It is so beautiful. It's like really French, Parisian, very antique-y. All of the elements are really well thought out. Over here is the sunrise, very early in the morning. I think this was about 5 in the morning, and it's absolutely breathtaking. The breakfast was excellent. It was included in the stay. Oh my gosh, it was such an amazing breakfast, all with like vintagey kind of cutlery and cups. Beautiful. Then of course over here you have the actual Niagara Falls. It's a beautiful walk. Park your car, go for a walk. It doesn't get old. To me at least, it never gets old. It's a beautiful, beautiful waterfall. Another thing that I want to recommend you in Niagara Falls that not a lot of people actually go to, and I was surprised how beautiful this is the bird kingdom. Over here, as I'm showing you, this is like the third floor, but there's like 2 more floors below. You can spend a whole at least 2-3 hours there. You can probably spend longer, but at the top you have this sort of like a circular staircase that is kind of open concept, and the birds are everywhere. It's so cool. They kind of walk around literally under kind of your feet. These orange guys, reddish orange, they looked unreal because of the coloring. It was so bright. Highly recommend Bird Kingdom when you're in Niagara Falls. I am going to link down below the full video that I did for Niagara Falls with tons more spots that you need to check out if you choose this as a weekend getaway. But you also need to check out the Flour Mill Scratch Kitchen restaurant. It's a really great restaurant. It's all of the food in there was highly enjoyable, very, very yummy. The chef in there is excellent. The next amazing weekend trip is Muskoka. So first up, you need to visit Wings Cafe, which is located in Pelee Sound. The food was great. We had a soup and a sandwich. It was really nice. And while you're eating, you watch the planes take off and arrive. It's a really beautiful sight. Definitely one of those places that's dinner and a show. Port Sydney in Huntsville area was also really, really beautiful. It's actually a beach. If you would like a good beach recommendation, I do recommend that. And it's just a really gorgeous port with a dock that you can just, relax and start getting into the Muskoka feel. The Dorset Lookout Tower is beautiful. So this was, I think it was about $14 to enter for a car, and then you park and then you can go and climb the tower, the observation tower. It is a really beautiful view up on the tower. The climb was not that hard. The only kind of thing, but that's just me, I think, is that the tower sways slightly, especially as you go higher and higher. I can't say I love that. I know fully well that, my logical brain understands that it's not going to fall, but it's still a bit of a hard thing for me. Another amazing thing in Muskoka while you're there is Muskoka GETAWAYS. So this is an experience that you have to do. You basically walk a goat. It's the most adorable thing. The goats kind of go whichever way, but it's fun to kind of run after them and interact with them. It's such a lovely experience. And of course, make sure to pre-book it in advance. So in terms of where to stay, there are a number of amazing Muskoka places and resorts. One of them, we have stayed at Sherwood Inn. I'm going to link down the link to that video. It was amazing. Another beautiful place is Taboo Resort. One more resort that we did stay at was the Touchstone Resort. Highly recommended. Beautiful, gorgeous Muskoka resort. And over here we're at the Muskoka Bay Resort, the restaurant that is called Cliffside. We just pre-booked for the breakfast and we explored a little bit. This is golf course, resort, everything. The service at the restaurant was excellent. There's actually a pool right by the restaurant. It was really breathtaking. And the food was great, the service was great. I highly recommend over here for... So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you make the most and the best out of the weekend getaways, be it summertime or not summertime. And I of course hope that you subscribe, like, and share if you enjoy my videos. Thank you so much. Bye.